Hello, a very warm welcome to Alexandra Palace, where today the boxers will step on the scales and face off for the final time ahead of a bumper afternoon of breakthrough boxer action. Alongside me, Johnny Nelson and Matt Macklin. I really like this setup. Sunday afternoon boxing. We're really getting involved, Matt.
Yeah, me too. I think it's great. We're all wrapped up by 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Can't wait.
It's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, and everyone can go home or go out after them. You know, I think it's good. I hope it catches on.
And Johnny, a main event to get teeth stuck into as well. Adam Azim against Rylan Charlton. So far, so good for Adam Azim. So much buzz surrounding him. A lot of hype. How much of a test, though, will Charlton be for him, do you think?
We're on this journey of Adam, so therefore we've got to see how this journey unfolds. If he's the fighter we all think he is, all professionals think he is, then this is supposed to be a stepping stone for him. This is, and I know on paper it doesn't seem that way, but if Adam is a fighter, the rumours, the conversation about him is, he should be able to deal with that. He should be able to get his shot to him well.
We had a word with Rylan Charlton yesterday, and one thing that was extremely obvious, Matt, is he is oozing confidence, isn't he? He's convinced he's going to upset the apple cart tomorrow.
He thinks his experience, his maturity, his strength and his power will be too much for Adam Azim in the later rounds, but I'm just not sure. Can he get it to the later rounds? Because so far Adam Azim's looked so explosive, dangerous early on, and speed early doors until you kind of get the timing of it is when it's.
But he has got to talk a good fight, though, hasn't he? He has got none of us ever walk in saying, "I don't think I'm going to win." He's got to talk a good fight.
He's got to talk it up, so you wouldn't expect anything different to come out of him anyway. But I think he genuinely does think that he's too mature, too experienced. We'll see.
And with everyone sort of saying that, they think he could be the youngest ever world champion. Shane is so excited about him. He's saying he's probably one of the most talented fighters he's ever trained. I guess he has to come through tests like tomorrow with a bit of ease as well if he's going to achieve those things.
There's a couple of acid tests he needs to go through at British level, European level, and then at world level. Then we can get getting excited. So he's got to get through these acid tests at levels, and then you can get really silly about it. Potentially, looking at the past, you think, this kid, he's on the right path. He could actually do this.
What sort of fight are you expecting in that one, though, Matt? Do you think it could catch fire, or do you think it would be sort of?
Personally, I think he's already beyond this level. I think he'll come out, and I think early doors it'll be too fast, too explosive, and I think he'll handle. I think he'll deal with Rylan Charlton. I think he'll get him out of there. But if he doesn't, it could get interesting in the second half.
Zach Chelli, Lerrone yesterday in the press conference, a little bit of back and forth, a little bit of spite. That potentially could be fight of the afternoon tomorrow.
That's my favourite. Obviously I'm going to get excited about the cruiserweights, but Zach Chelli and Lerrone, that is going to be such a fight. A contrast of styles.
Exactly.
Chelli has been waiting for this fight for 3 years. His dad, and this is his world title fight as far as he's concerned, because this is breakthrough. Remember, this young man jacked his job in to commit to boxing. And I said to Dave Caldwell afterwards, Lauren Richards' coach, I just said, look, tell him to respect him. Tell him to give him the respect he'd give a world champion. Because this might be that fight that he boxes to the best of his ability. He might not box again as well again in his life, but this is his world title. So I think, I just say, fight of the night.
How much was actually be looking to drag Lerrone into a big fight?
Well, that's what he has to do. I mean, he's quite an intense person, isn't he? Even when you're talking to him, he's pretty intense. And
you buy it, though, don't you?
Oh, yeah, no, you get sucked in with it, and he fights with an intensity, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to knock Richards out of his rhythm, out of his comfort zone, and really try and get on top of him. I think it'll be a good fight, I really do.
What do you think it'll come down to?
Whether or not Richards gets dragged in, or whether he can stick to his boxing. And he may end up just being too good for him technically at long distance, and he might pick him apart. But I think that Chelli will certainly bring the pressure.
Mikael Lawal against Jameson. Johnny, what's it for?
It's for the British Cruiserweight title.
Which?
I've got 2 of them.
I thought I'd just say that, because yesterday that became a running theme.
You teed him off.
Exactly. That is my job after all.
10 years apart, yes.
Lawal was due to fight Dion Juma, and as we know, very sadly, Juma suffered an eye injury in training, so his career has now come to an end. Had to make some adjustments, some last-minute adjustments, Lawal, in this one, because he was fighting southpaw, now fighting an orthodox. What kind of preparations will he have had to change for that?
Again, in conversation, fortunately we could mix with the fighters yesterday. In conversation, these are the times when fighters can make massive mistakes. When you get in the ring with a fighter they've already beaten, they're already familiar with. It's harder.
Which they fought in the Boxer series.
And what happens is when you've got a fight set up and your opponent pulls out, then that's the job of the trainer, to keep you lifted, keep you motivated, keep you respectful of your opponent. And so Lawal has to make sure he respects Jameson, because if he doesn't, Jameson said last time they boxed he had 10 days notice, clean. This time he had 10 days notice, but he'd been training just in case this had happened. This might be a completely different fight, so therefore it'll be a good one.
Psychologically, though, Lawal will be full of confidence, won't he? Knowing he has beaten Jameson in the past and in some style as well. But that there could be a danger for maybe some complacency, do you think?
Yeah, no, he'll be confident, but he needs to make sure he's not too confident, not complacent, because that's when, you take your eye off the ball and that's when things go wrong. And it's the hardest thing to guard against, complacency, because it creeps in subconsciously. He's prepared. He's fit, he's sharp, he was preparing for Juma. All right, Southpaw Orthodox, but, we can adjust to that. It would have been worse the other way around if you were preparing for an Orthodox and then they brought Southpaw in. So that, I don't think that's going to be a problem. It's just that he make sure his mental approach is on point and that he's focused.
And historically, British titles, we've had some absolute crackers, haven't we, over the years? Could potentially be the same tomorrow, Johnny.
I do. The reason being is because fighters that have boxed below that level, they know that's their gateway to the next step. It means so much. If you're there to make the numbers and earn a bit of a living, fine. But getting the British title gives you recognition in your own country and on a European level, because then it catapults you in the European rankings. So therefore, they're going to look at it and think, you know what? This is your next step. This is your next opportunity to box for the European title, which leads on to boxing for a world title. So there's steps, baby steps, but the British fighters fight hard for that, because that's a big win no matter what happens.
And also, it's one of the legitimate, prestigious titles. There's so many titles in boxing now which are bogus titles, sanctioning bodies. But the British title, it's like that first big step, so...
And it is such a stunning belt as well, a beautiful long-style belt.
I've got two of them.
You said that twice, you can't say a third. Now you've been done today. All right, let's get our proceedings underway and hand you over to Big Mo.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to official weigh-ins, now joined by our viewers on Sky Sports. We would like to thank our official partners this afternoon, Bet365, Everlast, Village Hotels, Wow Hydrate, and FCI Markets. We pick up our weigh-ins with the heavyweights now, 6 3-minute rounds. Introducing first to the scales, fighting out of the blue corner from Birmingham, England, please welcome the undefeated Joel Ducil. Official weight, 16 stone, 5 pounds. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, coming to us from Tottenham, England, the undefeated Jamie TKV. Official weight, 18 stone, 5 pounds for Jamie TKV.
Joel Ducil. Jamie's only third professional contest for him tomorrow afternoon. What are you looking to see in this one?
More of the same. He's a novice professional, but he's got a bit of flow about his work. He's pretty relaxed, nice style. I just want to see him kind of the early momentum he's shown so far in his career.
For Ducil, just the 2 professional fights under his belt. He's so far unbeaten. What can you see in this one, Johnny?
I think Jamie has the pedigree coming through from the amateurs. I think Jamie is probably one of those secrets that wants to be that want to be told. And he represented Africa in the African Games. He can fight, and so but not many people know about him on the professional ranks. So now he's got to try and slip under the radar And so far, he's looked clean, he's looked polished, he's not looked rugged, he's looked like he's shaking off that amateur tag, and he's well and truly ready at 29 years old as a professional.
So far, Jameson, he's stopped one of his opponents already, but there seems to be with heavyweights, Johnny, especially in the early stages of their professional career, that they want to go for the knockout, don't they? They want to produce those statements. But that's not always the be-all and end-all, is it?
No, exactly. They want the big knockouts because they want people to talk about them, but they also want the experience, so people, so they prepare when they get to the top level. Yes, and to find even balance.
Please welcome Mikael Hennessy Jr. Official weight 11 stone 4 pounds for Mikael Hennessy Jr.
So Mikael Hennessy Jr. weighing in on his own. He faces Dimitri Tranel tomorrow afternoon. 6 rounds of super welterweight, Matt. I mean, Mikael Hennessy Jr. really doesn't need any introduction in the boxing world, does he?
Oh, well, he's the son of Mick Hennessy, the promoter, so a bit of pressure with that, I guess. But he's come along nicely. I think he's got that one little setback early doors in his career, but I don't think that psychologically affected him too much. Listening to talk about it, I think he's over it. I think he's just looking to move on from that now.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, 6 3-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Coming to us first, fighting out of the blue corner from Namibia, Nestor Amukoto.
Nestor Amukoto taking on Hassan Azim. Of course, Hassan Azim is the brother to Adam Azim, who headlines tomorrow evening on Sky Sports. Make sure I pause for those weights there. 6 rounds at welterweight between these two.
Please welcome the undefeated Hassan the Hitman Azim.
So much support here, Johnny, this afternoon for the Azim brothers, and rightly so. Hassan, though, very openly says he's moving at his brother. He's on a different trajectory.
He accepts where he is. He stays in his lane. He's 22 years old. He's boxing Amukoto, who's never boxed outside of Namibia. So therefore, he needs to make him feel uncomfortable. He has a decent amateur pedigree, winning a bronze after moving to a good Russian in the amateurs. So he has pedigree. He knows how to fight, but he also knows he's got to build his own stock as a professional fighter to capture the public's imagination.
What do you like about Hassan, Matt?
I mean, he carries power. He can see good boxer. You know, this kid had a decent amateur background himself. Won
Very
quite a
decent,
lot.
very decent.
You know, boxed internationally for England, GB, travelled the world boxing for them. So you know, he's experienced, good amateur. Obviously, making his way now as a professional, and so far, so good.
Very different personalities, aren't they, Hassan and Adam?
Yeah, of course, and you know, he's got to enjoy his individualism and be himself. You know, as has Adam. You know, they're both on their own journeys. Obviously, they get all together because they're brothers, but ultimately they're in there on their own. They've got their own journey, and you know, he's making his own progress.
Official weight 8 stone 1 pound 5 ounces for Ivanka Ivanova.
So Shannon Ryan is coming back out again in just her 4th professional fight on Sunday afternoon. She takes on Ivanka Ivanova. A really good performance from Shannon Ryan on the all-female card at the O2 just a few weeks ago, Johnny.
Ivanova's had 28 professional fights, lost 20, so she's been an experienced fighter. But now Shannon's in.
Official weight 8 stone, 2 pounds, 5 ounces for Shannon Chaos Ryan.
Her fifth professional fight at 25 years old, very confident in who she is, loves the game, meeting her on a personal level as well. She loves to fight. She's very comfortable and how she conducts herself, and she's got big ambitions.
Our super
So far, so good from Shannon Ryan. What are you looking to see from her tomorrow, Matt?
More of the same. I've been impressed with her, so just want to see more of the same. She's technically well schooled, good balance, good repertoire of punches.
She's pretty critical of herself, isn't she, post-fight in the interviews? And she said yesterday that she is someone that sort of goes back and analyses, there we go, I'll put my teeth back in, and sort of really works on things, but she doesn't sort of get any consistency in that game.
No, I think a lot of successful people are quite critical of themselves. That's why they're always improving, because they're searching for more. But at the same time, she shouldn't be too hard on herself, because she's already doing well, and she's every time I've seen her box, I've been impressed.
And what she's getting is momentum in her career, isn't she? At the right time.
Yeah, she's 25, so she's mature, but she's got plenty of time as well, and she's getting better every time. I think she's moving at the right pace.
For the English Super Welterweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, coming to us from Ruislip, England. Here is Sean Robinson. Official weight 10 stone, 12 pounds for Sean Robinson.
10 rounds for the English Super Welterweight Championship between Sam Gilly and Sean Robinson. Now, these two, Matt, have previously sparred, and we often say this. How much can you read into that?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't actually seen either of these box before, but going on some of the recent English title fights we've seen.
Oh, we've seen some absolute barnstormers, haven't we?
And the fact that it's almost like a local derby. They're not a million miles away, are they, Walthamstow and Harrow? So this could be the sneaky steal of the night. This could steal the show.
Card, yeah. What do you reckon, Johnny?
Gill is a good fighter. In his last fight, the York Hall against Drew Brown, those two they tore the house down. He ended up winning and stopping him in the 9th round. He can fight for Robinson. He's only got 4 rounds. Done 4 rounders. So for this, in the last 2 years, there's a lot of questions he's got to ask himself. Can he do the distance? Is his mind right to do the distance? Can he take the heat and the pressure? I think he's in deep waters here, but it'd be a good fight. It's for the English style.
Well, this will be our first live TV fight of the night. If any of you want to come down tomorrow afternoon, there's a lot going on at Alexandra Palace. It's exciting. It's something different we're doing. There's a fan zone. There's plenty to get involved with. I think, Matt, you're pretty jealous you've got to work because you want to get stuck in.
Yeah, definitely. I like this. I hope this Sunday afternoon thing really catches on, because I like it. Especially for these breakthrough shows. I get it probably doesn't work for the bigger fights, but certainly for these breakthrough shows, I think the Sunday afternoon works.
This could catch fire, Johnny.
I think, this is, again, it's that stepping stone to get through. It could catch fire.
Definitely spike between these two.
So maybe, the being fight of the night, or the next boys on the scale being fight of the night, as in Chelli and Lerrone.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
I think we're going to hear from Andy Scott in just a moment. He's going to grab a word with both Sam and Sean. Let's go over to Andy.
Sam, It's never easy making this weight, but the question is, how did you used to make well on weigh-in day now?
Listen, it's still tough. Obviously, I've grown as I've got a bit older. It's still hard, but we've both done it. That's all that matters, and it's just about the fun bit now.
Yeah, you say the fun bit. Your biggest enemy and your biggest challenge is always the scales, but today it was the London traffic.
Oh, mate, yeah, sorry to everyone I was late. Yeah, we got stuck on the A406. Nightmare, but listen, we're here now, we're done, and tomorrow night's all that matters.
What did you say to him that you can repeat when you went face-to-face there? It sounded like light work.
Yeah, light work, do you know what I mean? Made the weight. Tomorrow night, yesterday he said that he thinks I'm overrated. I want to show him I'm not overrated. Take him apart.
Let's have a quick word with him. Sean, what was your response to that? You didn't look like you had too much to say at the head-to-head when he said there, but light work, what's your response to that?
No, nothing. I'll show him tomorrow. That's it.
How confident are you, and without giving too much away, what's the secret to winning this fight?
I'm very confident. I've been off work 3 months, trained hard, so tomorrow night I'm going to put on a good performance.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Andy absolutely loves stirring the pot, doesn't he? And he does it so well.
Yeah, and now, ladies and gentlemen, 10 3-minute rounds in the super middleweight division. Introducing first to the scales, fighting out of the blue corner, the undefeated former British, Commonwealth, European, and IBO world champion from Carshalton, England. Here is Lerrone, Sniper the Boss Richards.
10 rounds at super middleweight. Lerrone Richards taking on Zach Chelli. Zach Chelli's putting his title on the line this one. Happy birthday to Zach Chelli. He's stepping on the scales on his birthday, Matt. What a treat.
Yeah. He wants
no
to
cake
make... No, definitely not. But after, tonight he'll be having some cake.
Official weight 12 stone, 2 pounds, 5 ounces for Lerrone Richards.
Johnny, this one could be very interesting because Richards is known for his pure boxing skills, isn't he? And we know Zach Chelli, we know he loves a tear-up, he loves being dragged into a fight. So that, again, has all the ingredients to produce a firecracker.
Richards, it will not let anybody put him under pressure. An excellent technical pace that this young man is going to put him under. And this young man has jumped in his fight for 3 years.
12 stone, 5 ounces for Zach Chelli.
Wants to do it again without his socks on.
Yeah.
Official weight 12 stone for Zach Chelli.
Those socks helped.
You know what? We are so sensitive about the littlest of things: socks, underpants.
But it highlights
rings,
as well
earrings.
that those minute details make all the difference. Yeah.
And so in the dress, you can imagine being in the hotel room before they come down to the weigh-in, how much you've got to make sure they get it spot on right before they get on the scales, because there's no second chance. Well, there is, but it makes people think you're struggling to make the weight or not.
I guess for Zach Chelli, he can't really allow Lerrone Richards to get into his rhythm, into his flow.
That's it exactly, because he's more experienced. He is technically the better boxer of the two, and if he starts landing, if Richards can establish his jab and his distance early on, it could be a difficult fight for Chelli. But Chelli's intense, lots of heart, full of ambition and hunger, and he'll really difficult for Richards in there.
And it is that hunger, that ambition that Chelli speaks about, and he knows what a win would mean to him and how many doors that would open up.
Yeah, and I'll add self-belief to that as well. This is a kid who totally believes in himself. I don't know what he's doing there with his pecs, but he's an intense guy, isn't he? He wants it. You can see that about him. He really wants it. I don't know if he's got enough technical capabilities to beat Richards, but we'll see.
What do you think this is going to come down to, Johnny?
Who wants it the most?
Exactly.
Who wants it the most? I hope Lerrone hasn't dismissed him and underestimated him, because if he has, he loses. If he lets Chelli talk him into a fight, he loses. So he's got to be his normal self, be cool, control the pace, don't let him pressure him out of doing something he don't want to do, and he gets the fight as he should do.
All right, well, let's hear from Lerrone. He's with Andy.
Lerrone, this one's built beautifully all week. I want to say the hard bit for you guys, the hard bit's done now, and you just get to fight. He labelled up to this one. What's your response?
I've got no response to that. I think he's very childish and he needs to grow up.
the beauty of this sport is you get to settle it in the ring tomorrow night. How confident are you?
I'm very confident. I'm going to teach him a lesson. I will show the world, I will show him why I'm the best. I'm one of the best fighters in the world.
In the past, people have perhaps labelled you as being a bit too nice, but has this brought a bit more spite out of you, this build-up? There has been a little bit of a war of words between the two of you.
No one can change my demeanour. I am who I am. I'll do my job like I always do on Sunday afternoon.
Final prediction?
Lerrone win.
Thanks very much. Zach, there has been some spite in this build-up. Are we going to see the best of you tomorrow?
You'll see the best of me, indeed.
What sort of fight are we expecting from him, and what sort of fight are you expecting from yourself?
Well, he said he's going to teach me a lesson. Well, I'm the teacher here, and I'll be teaching you the lesson, Lerrone.
You accused him of being arrogant in the build-up. Do you think that could be his downfall, that he could perhaps be looking past you, doesn't see you as a threat?
Of course, he thinks of himself too much. He's in his own world. I'll be teaching him a lesson.
His prediction was a Lerrone Richard. Easy for me to say. What's your final prediction?
Zach Chelli KO, inshallah.
Thanks very much to both of you.
Supreme confidence there from Zach Chelli, Matt.
Yeah, as he always is. And he believes in himself, and he backs himself. He's not afraid to take these difficult fights on paper. Whether or not he has enough technical ability, enough variety, repertoire to beat Richards, I'm not sure. But I know it won't be for the want of trying. I know he's going to give it everything he's got, and it should be a really good fight.
Coming by way of knockout from East Kilbride, Scotland, here is David Jameson. Official weight 14 stone, 2 pounds for David Jameson.
So the vacant British title is up for grabs in the cruiserweight division. Johnny Nelson, Mikael Lawal against David Jameson. Lawal, we know, is strong. He's a physical fighter, unbeaten, but he wants to be tested now.
Yes, he does. Jameson weighed in 2 pounds under the weight, so makes the weight easy comfortably. Lawal physically, aesthetically on point, but again, because of the change of opponent, it's what's going on upstairs. Will he still have the same intensity and respect? How
much does that affect when you're fighting, when you're training? It is part of the game. These last-minute changes happen. It's the nature of the sport. Does it actually affect things?
They make a massive difference. I think if you're not professional and well prepared for it. Just to say, Lawal weighed in less than Jameson, so again, another fight that these guys make cruiserweight pretty easily. But yeah, the change of opponent, this is now down to the experience of your corner, your people that are working with you to keep your head in the right place. These two are familiar with each other. They boxed each other in the Ultimate Boxer tournament. Jameson had 10 days notice before. I think he thinks he was hard because he wasn't fully prepared. Now he is, as far as he's concerned.
And one thing that Jameson will be looking for, Matt, is revenge from that loss in the series tournament.
Yeah, that loss will be hurting him, hurting his pride, and he'll want to avenge that. But Lawal's looked good. He's undefeated. He can bang hard. That doesn't go at the fastest of pace, work rate wise. But so I think that's where Jameson will be looking to maybe out hustle him, outwork him. But he's got to be wary of that power because Lawal can bang.
What can we read into this, Johnny? Because Lawal is typically, he's a very cool customer, isn't he? Yesterday at the press conference, he wasn't really giving much away, was he?
I think Lawal thinks it's a done deal. I think Lawal is going in there thinking, I've got your number, I beat you once before. I don't mind a fight going in there confident and with full belief, but he's got to go in there respectfully. If he doesn't...
Because that could spill over into almost arrogance, couldn't it?
Exactly. If he doesn't, you're going to lose some man you shouldn't lose to. And so, yes, it's easy to say, I'm your boss. I'm the one I'm in control of the situation. But, you know what? Sometimes it's better to play the fool to catch the wise. Go in there, get your job done, be totally professional about it. He's not played any games so far, as I'm concerned, but let's see what he's got to say to Andy when given a chance.
All right, let's hear from Jameson now. He's with Andy.
David, congratulations, made the weight, so you do get a chance to fight for that Lonsdale belt. Just let us into your mindset at the moment. Dion Juma's sad situation has been your gain. You get a chance to fight Mikael Lawal. Just how excited are you? How confident are you?
Yeah, no, listen, it's mind on the job at this point. Yesterday it was all the talking. Said in one of my interviews, a little less conversation, a lot more action, and today we're all about that.
You two have boxed over the short distance, and yes, it was exciting, and those short form tournaments are great, but is this a sort of different situation completely? The game plan's different and the approach is different over 12 championship rounds?
Yeah, big time this is it. It's 12 rounds for the Lonsdale belt. It's a totally different kettle of fish as it was the last time. It's just sort of the amateur format, 3-minute rounds. It's a big shootout. This will be a totally different game plan.
We do know he can punch though. Just how wary do you have to be about that punch power and be switched on?
It's a cruiserweight division, we can all punch. I believe my own power. I think he needs to watch out for that earlier on. Everybody's talking about Mikael being the big puncher. I can punch as well.
How much are you looking to bash the bookies? I know that everybody up north has got their money on you, but you are the bookmakers' underdog.
Yeah, no, I've had a few messages through on Snapchat and things like that. A bookies odds, brilliant. Listen, going to make all the people in Scotland a lot of money tomorrow night.
Wish you all the best. Mikael, it's been a turbulent build-up, hasn't it? The fight that you thought you would have for so long is fallen by the wayside. You now have to switch on, different opponent. How have you, new trainers, prepared for David Jameson? It is a rematch of sorts, albeit in a very, very different sort of context.
Yeah, I've had to my last sparring, I had to get some orthodox sparring partners. And obviously I've fought him before, so I kind of know what to expect. But obviously I know he's going to come in, he's a tough guy, but I'm looking to beat him.
Yeah, a lot of southpaw sparring in the build-up, but actually is it a little bit of a relief? I don't want to upset all the southpaws around the world, but not everyone likes to box a southpaw, so you're back to boxing an orthodox now in David Jameson.
No, you know what? I was looking forward to fighting the southpaws in Dion Jr, so I wasn't worried about it in any way. But yeah, obviously I'm more comfortable fighting an orthodox fighter, and yeah, I can't wait.
Your journey is well documented. Your struggles to this point are well documented as well. What will it mean to you personally to lift that Lonsdale belt tomorrow night if you can come past David Jameson?
It'll mean the world to me.
Will you give us a final prediction?
I'm going to win.
Okay. Nice and short. Well done. Good luck.
Doesn't give much away, does he, Johnny? A win for either than the British title is obviously a belt that most fighters, all fighters pretty much want to win. But in terms of fights out there, should they get that stage under their belt? So many good fights in the cruiserweight division domestically.
Domestically, there are. Chris Bill and Smith obviously gave up the title, so that could be a target. God, so many. My mind just gone blank, but there are fights
Bill and
there.
Smith, Reatport, all sorts.
Yeah, that exactly. And so I just think, as a cruiserweight, domestically, it's a great division to be in.
Powerhouse, Rylan Charlton. Official weight 10 stone for Rylan Charlton.
Rylan Charlton is bang on the weight then in our headline weigh-in. Hassan Azim versus Rylan Charlton. 3-minute rounds at super lightweight. Should be expecting this fight tomorrow around 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Here he comes to scales. Hassan Azim, a lot of support, a lot of love here, a lot of hype for Hassan Azim.
Yeah, well, everybody that's been around him, everyone that's seen him from the amateur days right up to now and been in the gym with him said this kid really is the real deal and he can go all the way. So, and what we've seen so far, he's explosive, he's fast, he's confident. You know, he ticks every box so far. There are going to be tougher tests along the way, and tomorrow night should be the toughest test on paper so far in his career.
Exactly, Johnny. So far, Hassan Azim, he's 6-0. He's blown pretty much all his opponents away with ease so far, but he hasn't been beyond 6 rounds. Can you see this one going beyond 6 tomorrow? Will he get those rounds under his belt?
I think Charlton will try and push him as much as he possibly can. I think this fight would be that fight to go beyond the 6th round, because Charlton's got that stubborn determination about him. I remember Charlton when he got in and and what seemed to be a shock then when he beat Joe Law. And that was an exciting time, but he doesn't mind going in and upsetting the apple cart. We'll hope he can take Azim into deep waters and make him ask questions of himself. But it's out limits and about talent and levels.
Pretty respectful between the two. Hassan Azim, he doesn't seem to be that sort of character that gets sucked in, does he? He's sort of the nicest man outside the ring, but when he gets in the ring, it's just business for him.
Just business. Look at the size difference, a reach difference, and this will make a big difference in this fight, because Charlton's got to get up close and personal, and that means he's got to walk into the shots and him to fight. That's the only way Charlton's going to get hold of him. So I think that height and reach will make a massive difference in this fight.
Well, Rylan's just putting his t-shirt on and he's going to grab a word with Andy now.
Rylan, all the talking is nearly done now. I promise this is the last one. It's been a long build-up. They've given you full notice. Is this going to be the best Rylan Charlton tomorrow night?
100%. Yeah, I was confident with 3 weeks' notice, but super confident.
What do you have to do to beat him tomorrow?
Just be me, the best of me.
Do you believe that this is actually your best weight? We know we've seen you up at welterweight and we've seen that you could punch at welterweight, seen you lighter than this as well, but is this, in your mind, your best weight?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I think I'm very comfortable making this weight.
He did 6 rounds on debut, but everything since then has gone short. Without giving too much away, is the game plan in your mind trying to get him into the second half of the fight, or is it to try and meet fire with fire, which we would love?
Let's see if we can get past the first half, but we'll wait and see.
Will you give us a final prediction?
Me winning.
Perfect. Good luck. Got to get out of the habit of saying tomorrow evening, tomorrow afternoon, back here at the Ali Pali. Adam, set this one up for us. Again, a very sort of fixed, emotionless stare down. Do you feel in that sort of mentality, emotionless, it's just another day at the office for you?
It's another day at the office, you know. I'm very, very confident I'm going to win this fight. I'm a winning style. You know, I've been training really hard in this camp, and, you know, nothing can take it away from me now.
Saw some great quotes from you yesterday that you just don't feel any pressure, because there's a lot of pressure coming from broadcasters at Sky Sports. Boxer, you've signed a long-term deal with them now. It's all set up for you, and we would assume that brings pressure, but you don't agree?
Nah, no pressure at all. You know, once I'm out of that ring, you know, it's fight night for me. You know, I'm always confident. You know, I've never got that pressure.
You've got that entertainment sort of mindset as well. You've got a lot of fans here today. Is it looking for another entertaining performance from you?
You know what you guys will expect from me. That's it.
Just give us one more final prediction. How do you think this goes tomorrow? He said if it could go early for him, it could drag you into the second half of the fight, and it could go late. You're obviously going to counter that and disagree.
I disagree to that, but, you know, all praise to God that I'll get that victory. You know, I'll win in style.
Wish you all the best of luck.
It is interesting, isn't it, that Adam does seem to be taking it all in his stride, because there is a danger when there is so much hype, so much buzz, a lot of people talking, a lot of pressure on his shoulders, that it can become, Johnny, overwhelming.
It's a habit he's got to develop now if he's to become a world champion, because when the stakes are higher, the attention's bigger, and the pressure's high. He needs to. This is a part of learning. It's not just about getting in there and getting around it, or getting in there and learning your boxing. It's about how you deal with the pressure. So there's many lessons to be learned here for him.
And even 6-0 in terms of Adam's career, headlining Ali Pali on Sky Sports, you learn a lot so much early on in your career from that.
Yeah, like Johnny said, it's all part of the process.
Yeah.
You're not just learning. You're learning in the gym, but you know. The way in the press conferences, how to deal with the media, that could overwhelm you if all of a sudden you've never been in a big fight, you're only boxing on non-TV television shows, and then all of a sudden you're thrown into a world title and you've got press week and media obligations. You could be completely overwhelmed. So they're bringing him along. You know, Shane's doing the job in the gym, then they're picking the right opponents, developing him, but then Boxer and Sky Sports, you know, they're promoting him, they're building his star, if you like.
I mean, obviously Adam has to come through Rylan Charlton tomorrow evening, but how difficult will it be matching him down the line, Johnny, do you think?
It will be difficult, especially at domestic level. I know they're talking about Dalton Smith down the line. Well, that is down the line.
That would be a great rivalry
to build up. And a fight that I'm quite sure Dalton Smith probably knows will happen eventually. But that'll be his domestic acid test. as far as I'm concerned. I think these are just a walk in the park for him. I could be wrong, but I think you don't Smith in the domestic acid test. So for him, deal with the pressure, get on with the job, get the job done, and onwards and upwards for him.
And like we said, that fight should be around 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Our coverage gets underway from 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. We're going to touch on as well a big fight that got announced this week. Of course, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Smith. There's a little child just out of our eye line down there. Very cute indeed. Brilliant news, Johnny, that this is finally on.
Liam Smith and Chris Jr., I think, excellent fight. I think timing couldn't have been any better. I've said it many times before. I think Liam Smith is not the fighter he was, but the fighter he is today will beat most fighters. For Chris Jr., he's probably the ring fresher out of the two, even though he's not a young pup. So that's why he's got the engine, he's got the pace, he's got the speed. I just think the timing's brilliant. I think a loss for Liam would probably hurt Liam more than a loss for Chris. For Chris was talking about retiring if he lost to Conor Benn. You know, that's because it was Conor Benn. But I think a loss to Liam would be worse. But this is a pick him, and I can't pick him. It's a tough fight.
Which is exactly what we want on Sky Sports Box Office. Matt, how are you calling this? How are you seeing this one going?
I think both of them are probably in a very similar stage in the career.
Which is what we love. It makes it even more exciting.
They're not past it, but there is miles on the clock for both of them. So, you know, it's a must-win fight. I think if either loses, that they're probably going to retire. I think it's going to be a brutal fight. You know, it's an old cliche in boxing, styles make fights, but they do. And these styles cannot give us anything other than a humdinger. And I think it could be really brutal, I do.
Well, we're expecting tickets to sell out fast, so head to boxer.com to get your tickets and register your interest for that one. In terms of tomorrow, though, which fight is really going to catch your eye or has caught your eye?
I like the Zach Chelli Richards fight. Really looking forward to that. But also, you know, the cruiserweight British title fight. It's hard to go against that one as well.
What's left for Johnny?
I totally agree with Matt. Both those fights. I think fight of the night, Zach Chelli Richards. Obviously the cruiser, I'm keeping an eye on that. And of course, follow the story about Hassan Azim.
Absolutely. Well, make sure you join us at 3 o'clock. If you want to come down, like I say, Fan Zone, so much to get involved with, something for everyone. We're going to be on 3 p.m. on Sky Sports Arena, Sky Sports Main Event and a Sky Showcase. We're going to be absolutely everywhere. We'd love to have your company. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon.